All right, well, welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Mark. I am your host, and today on the show, what is this, your third strike?
Yes.
Yes, today on the show, I've got Sarah. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi.
We're sitting here at the world-famous Sterling Room. Good thing, because there's enough room for the recovery band. Kick it, boys. Don't you laugh. And there's also room for studio audience. Stop applauding.
They're impressed with the band. They've been practicing.
They still only know one song. So Sarah, the purpose of this is to sit down because you're part of the update series. Yay. So what has been going on in your life since the last time we talked?
The last time we talked was September.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just moving into my new apartment.
Ah, yeah, with your daughter, right?
Yes.
Yes. So how's it worked out for you?
It's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
My daughter's annoying, but, there's that.
Haley, if you're listening, your mom said you're annoying.
She knows.
So that's been going good. And like, what other changes have come about in your life?
I'm now in school.
Oh, really? For what?
I am going to school right now for paralegal studies, and then after that I'm going for legal studies to be a very high-paid paralegal.
Really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, pre-congratulations. So and all this came about because you're sober today.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good.
Because I started this 2009, I think, is when I started.
What, school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how's it feel now to be sober and to finish school?
Well, I still have a lot of law classes left, but it's good. Like, my brain's clear, so I can actually do work, homework, study, stuff like that, and retain it.
Yeah, well, retaining it, yeah, you retain information now, right?
It's crazy.
Yes. So how's your program going?
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about it. What's been going on with it?
Since the last time we spoke, I got a different sponsor.
Okay.
Started reworking my steps.
Wait, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got a new sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
How's that working out for you?
I love her. She's the best.
Awesome. And what made you decide to go to a new sponsor?
My other sponsor wasn't working out so well.
Yeah.
Just not being in contact and stuff like that. And not that I need to speak to my sponsor every day, but I need someone who's there when I need someone.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
My sponsor now has actually been with me since day one of recovery. So she's been my friend through the whole thing. And I was like, it's funny how God works out, I'm telling you. Because at the time I was without a sponsor, and she had asked me, do you know anyone that needs a sponsor? She's like, I need some sponsees. I need to get back into the program. I'm like, as a matter of fact, I need a sponsor.
Really?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that,
I'm
right?
telling you, it's crazy.
Yes. Small world or big God, right?
A big God, definitely.
Yeah.
God heard both of our prayers.
So you got a new sponsor. So what is the experience like now that you've gone through the steps, and now you're kind of going through them? What's different about it this time for you?
So because now I'm a lot more spiritual, like with steps 2 and 3, it was kind of weird because my sponsor's like, I don't even know how to do this with you. Like, you already, like, your will is already turned over to God, like, you need a higher power. You're doing all that. So it's kind of weird for both of us because we're not sure how to do it when you actually have some of this already.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going to put on my 4th step this time. I'm like, I don't think I have like much to put on it. She's like, we'll think of something.
Well, okay, so let's go over the last 4th step then and compare it to now. Like, I remember when you told me about you were going through the 4th step, it was this laundry list of...
That's the one, that was the first one that I did that I lost on my computer, remember? And I called you crying.
Oh, yeah.
And you thought it was funny. I'm like, this is not funny. It was devastating.
Didn't the conversation come, you better put your computer on there too?
I did put my computer on that 4th step.
Oh, microphone jumble there. So do you feel like maybe you did your 4th step like too thorough the first time?
Yes, because now I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to put on this thing? I don't have any resentment. Like, as far as fears, like, not really, because like I know as long as I keep doing this, everything's going to work out.
Yeah. Fears are a weird thing, right? Like when you look at them the first time, like after I did the resentments, like they just flowed out. But now I look at my fears and like we were talking about earlier in the meeting, like I can classify most of my fears into just a fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like at the same time, like especially now that I've been sober for a little bit, like I don't future trip. So it's not like, oh, it's going to happen 2 weeks from now. What's going to happen a year from now? No, like I'm in the present. So whatever happens, happens. And it's supposed to work out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You were talking. So, okay. So let's talk about future tripping. What's it look like when Sarah goes on a future trip?
Sarah doesn't do that anymore, but Mark knows what that looks like.
Didn't do. It's so bad. It was like I was talking to a friend of mine in the program, and she was talking about like going into her head, and I was like, like going into her head's like the world's worst vacation, right? Like the brochure looks good, but you get there and it's like it looks nothing like the pictures
at all. And you've seen me go through that stuff. Like that's the crazy part. Like when I'm freaking out about like, oh my God, what's gonna happen with this? What's gonna happen with that? I don't do that anymore. Like I said, whatever's supposed to happen happens, and I'm okay with it because it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Like whatever God wants for me, that's what God wants for me, and I just accept it. That's another thing. I accept things.
Oh, so that's changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about it then. Acceptance. What are you talking about? Page 417?
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. But yes, yes. It's so weird, like, because even in the last like month or so, the scope of my job has changed. Like the things that I was doing before, it's been changed. I've been moved to a different area in my job. I'm literally right under our managing partner, which for most people would be scary. Mm-hmm. But like, I do what I'm supposed to do, and if I need something, I go to him, and he's not like, oh, like I'm too busy for that. He'll go over it with me.
Really?
So even in that aspect, like we've lost some people at work because they're not doing the stuff they're supposed to be doing. As long as
that happens.
If I do what I'm supposed to do, I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like just in life in general, like like in my recovery, I've had things happen. Like my dad had a heart attack, my stepmom had a heart attack, my daughter had surgery. Like, but it all worked out.
Yeah.
I didn't freak out about it. Like, all right, my dad having the heart attack, I did freak out about. But the first thing I did was go to a meeting.
I remember when that happened. Mm-hmm. That was, how long ago was that?
Oh, next month will be a year.
Yeah, how's he doing?
He's good. He's very good.
Yeah, good. Good to hear.
I was over at his house a couple weeks ago, and it's so funny, too, because when I go to my dad's house now, like, I used to just run in and out and, like, try and get out of there as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. And now I sit there with him for, like, an hour or two just bullshitting, like...
Well, that's the thing, like, we don't know if we got tomorrow, right? Like I feel like that's the great, like, alcoholic Achilles heel, right? Like time and traffic.
Mm-hmm. Traffic, please don't.
Yeah. So, but time, like... I remember getting sober and like I always thought I had more time to do it until I didn't have more time to do it.
No.
And then it's like, I always think like, we got a mutual friend of ours that just went through some events, and it's like, dude, do you want to wait till tomorrow? Like, are you sure this person's going to be around tomorrow? Like,
exactly.
All we have is today.
I make jokes with my daughter because this is 100% my fault, but my daughter at 23 years old still does not make her own doctor's appointments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, mom has to make them. So
Yeah.
I'm trying, this was a few weeks ago, I'm like, you need to make an appointment. She's like, well, you can do that. And I'm like, if I walk outside and get hit by a bus tomorrow, who's going to make your appointment? Her response was, well, then I'm just going to die. Like, no, that's not the answer.
Hey, there is a solution, right?
But the funny thing is like, that's, like, when I said it that way, that's what I meant, is you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if I'm going to be here to make your doctor's appointment. You need to learn how to make them.
Yeah.
Granted, yes, I want to be there for my child. I want to do things for my child. But my child is way too dependent on me. And like I said, it's 100% my fault. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I totally take accountability for that.
Yeah.
Because, I wanted to not be my parents who made sure I was self-sufficient. Now I know why they made sure I was self-sufficient. I get it now. Like,
You're seeing it now.
I'm like, oh, my daughter's going to be 40 and be like, Mom, I need to go to the doctor.
Well, it's like, yeah, you start seeing your role in things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard this. I heard this thing like, oh, in like 5 years you're gonna hear this pop and your head comes out of your ass or something. I feel like that's already happened. I don't know, like
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you feel the same, like, yeah.
And it's so funny, too, because my daughter is literally a carbon copy of me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there's times that I'm like, I look at Henry, I'm like, what is wrong with you? And she just looks back at me and she's like, really? You have to ask that question? I mean, like, I'm you. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Does she have Juggalo vibes?
She does not. She does not. And I don't either anymore.
You don't, like, I've seen, this is a huge change, like, to hear you so leveled out. Like, you think about that first year, like, it was just so up and down, right? It was like either high or really low, and now it's like this leveling out, like, not necessarily program, but just like an attitude.
I've learned to keep my mouth shut too.
Oh, really?
You sat next to me in a meeting tonight.
Oh yeah, you were pretty quiet. Yeah, it was a fun meeting though. Usual cast of characters.
Yeah, but I've learned there's times that things don't need to be said.
I'm speechless.
Oh yeah, you know me. Like, there used to always be times that things didn't need to be said, but I said them anyways.
Oh, same.
But I've gotten very good about, there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, that's good. Like, that's amazing. So check this out. Can I read you something?
Of course.
Page 164 of the big book.
At least it wasn't 417.
Well, actually, I lied. It's 417. Look, I'm not cash register honest. No, it's 164. At the end of it, abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your fault to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then. It's almost like, when I came in, I thought that recovery was going to be all like sunshine and kittens, right? And it wasn't. And it doesn't sound like it is either for you, but you're making it through.
It is what look, it's funny. My sponsor told me this the other day. She goes, you go through a lot of stuff and you don't complain. I'm like, I don't have anything to complain about. Like, before I could complain about, why is this table gray? And make it a whole huge issue.
This is a very gray table.
It is, right?
Yeah. Sterling room gray. It's not sterling silver.
But, I don't have problems. The problems I had before, I created. I'm the one that made those problems, and I made them astronomical. The problems I have now, my sensor light on my tires right now is messed up. There's a solution for that. I'm going to the shop tomorrow and getting it fixed.
Yeah.
Because I have the ability to go to the shop tomorrow and get it fixed.
That's amazing. Yeah, you mean you have money in your pocket to do that?
Not only do I have money in my pocket to do it, but instead of being like, we'll just wait and see what happens. Because that's, whenever there was a car issue before, it's like, we'll see how long we can drag this out before something really happens.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's solve the problem before it gets too bad to where it gets too expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait until the last second.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny is this started a week ago. I was saying, I had low tire pressure. I went and checked it. And at first, yes, it was low, so I put air in it. Well, 2 days later, it came back on, and I'm like, I'm not letting this ride out like this. I went straight to the shop, and I was like, hey, I think my tire has a leak. They're like, there's no leak in the tire. I'm like, well, my light says. And they're like, okay, it's probably the sensor. They're like, drive it for a couple days. If the light comes back on, bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, also check the tire pressure. So the first thing I did was check the tire pressure. It's fine. So I was like, all right. And I had already told them I'm coming back next weekend to get the sensor fixed. So I had a solution immediately.
Mind-blowing.
Right?
Yeah, it's like situations that used to baffle us, right? In anything in life. It doesn't necessarily have to be with alcohol and people, and but I deal with people, places, and things all the time.
And real life situations.
Yeah.
2 months ago, my TV broke. And instead of being like, oh my God, my TV broke, and be without a TV for months till I can get money together to get a TV, 2 days after it broke, I went to BrandSmart. I ordered one online. I went and picked it up. They checked it before I left. I went home and had a brand new TV bigger than the one I had before.
Look, you're kind of Broward bougie. Did you get a bougie ass TV?
I got a smart TV.
Oh, how smart is it?
But it was like $200. That was the best part.
TVs are so cheap.
So my TV that broke is like one of the first flat screens, like a Samsung. I will say that thing lasted 15 years, so. And it probably cost me like $900 when I bought it originally. And I thought it was way bigger than what it was. I thought it was a 50-inch TV, but because, it had all the plastic trim around it.
Oh, yeah. It's like really like a 26-inch.
I think it was like 40 because I bought a 50-inch and I'm like, this thing's huge.
No, it's like this huge.
I have this huge screen and I'm like, whoa, this thing's big. And I'm like, hold on. So I go measure the TV. I'm like, oh, I included the plastic. That's why.
There you go.
But the great thing is I got a 50-inch smart TV for $200. And I didn't even have to go to the store to buy it. I ordered it online and right after work picked it up.
Isn't it amazing? Like we're getting older, right? And it's like, now I'm like, oh, you can order that and have it dropped off, or you can have it picked up. You can practically have anything DoorDash to your door.
Yeah, I don't do that because DoorDash with their fees are a little expensive.
Yeah,
I still try and be,
Like a new TV comes across, I'm like, how do you work this thing?
The best part was I hooked it up by myself.
Sober enough to do that.
Like, I didn't even need instructions. The thing is, too, is my TV before, because it was older, it was much heavier. So I had an issue picking it up by myself. This new TV, I could have thrown it up in the air and caught it. But I put it on there, I plugged it in, I turned it on, and it was ready to go.
Yeah, so...
I was like, this is crazy. I just put a TV on. Like, put this thing together by myself.
Yeah, it sounds like the 18th step promises have come true. So here. So let's do this. Page 83, the 9 step promises. If we were painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we are halfway through. What does that mean to you?
Amazed? I'm beyond amazed.
All right. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness.
Ooh. Listen, I say it all the time. Like, my life is simple. It's very simple. I go to work, I go to meetings, I go to school.
Uh-huh.
But I am happy. It is peaceful. That to me is amazing. Like, I'm not waking up irritated all the time, freaking out about this or that and blah. I get up in the morning before my alarm even goes off. I go to work, I come home, I go to school, I go to meetings. My life is very simple, and I like it that way because it's so peaceful.
Yeah. That's amazing. How about this? We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it.
Oh, no, I don't regret anything in the past because I wouldn't be here if I, didn't go through all of that. And that's part of the reason why I'm sober and doing as well as I am today, because I remember all the stuff that I went through to get here.
That's amazing. How about this? We will comprehend the word serenity. We will know peace.
I do. I do.
Well, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. Are you sponsoring people?
I do have 2 sponsees at the moment.
Really? Mm-hmm. Awesome. And how's that working out for you?
Listen, I'm not going to go into details or anything like that, but me as a sponsor, my first thing that I tell my sponsees is it is not my job to track you down. You either want this or you don't, and if you want it, you'll do the work.
That's amazing. Remember when I used to ask people, because we started sponsoring, I think, around the same time. I used to ask people, what links are you willing to go to? And they'd say any, and I'd find out where any links would stop.
Yep. And I tell people all the time, I said, I will be your sponsor, and I will help you and take you through the steps if you're willing to do the work. But I'm going to tell you now, I do go to work, I do go to school, I do have a life. I will make the time for you if you are willing to do the work. I'm not going to call you all the time. I'm not going to hunt you down. If you want me to sponsor you, you will do what I did and do the work and call your sponsor and do what you're supposed to do.
That's amazing. There you go. How about this? That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear.
Totally. I do not pity anything about myself anymore.
Good.
I can look at myself in the mirror.
Oh, and you don't have a halo blinding you? Or,
No. I think mine's somewhere with yours.
No, thank you. Yeah, it's been lost a long time ago.
Yeah, I think we threw them in storage somewhere.
It feels weird to love yourself like now, doesn't it? Like, it's like, where did that come from?
For real.
Do you remember when you started to love yourself?
Yes, actually, I do.
Okay.
I do. And it was, I'd probably say it was like about 10 months, 11 months, like, that I was just like, I'm not that bad.
Perfect.
When I learned to keep my mouth shut.
We will lose interest in selfish thing and gain interest in our fellows.
There's one thing I am selfish about, my sobriety.
Oh, actually, you know what? There's nothing wrong with being selfish about that. Yeah. You can't transmit something you don't have, right? Mm-hmm. Self-seeking will slip away.
The only thing I'm self-seeking in is my sobriety.
All right. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What about this one? Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us.
Because I have learned to budget. That's a new thing. I've learned to budget. Yeah.
You learned to budget?
Yeah. I tried to teach a friend of mine that, but I don't think he's grasped that concept yet.
Yeah, we'll have to go talk to that guy. Well, it's just the fear of, right? Like, I was told, like, if I still have fear of it, I still maybe have some amends I need to make.
The thing is because... So, before I even got to my 9th step, I had already started making some financial amends because I was able to. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to get into a position where I didn't have what I needed to cover my stuff. So I started slowly making financial amends before I got to the 9th step so that when I was able to finish doing that, I was still secure in my economic situation.
Yeah.
And I'm very good at keeping a budget and making sure everything's paid when it needs to be paid, and that I budget that I have enough to sustain whatever I need to sustain until, next check comes or whatever.
That's amazing. That's so beautiful to hear. Yeah,
it's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's funny because when my daughter and I go to the store or something, I go to take out my card. She's like, "Oh, you're paying for it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm paying for it. I have money. Like, what do you think I do? Go to work and not have any money?"
You used to be Captain Paycheck to Paycheck.
Oh, not even. Paycheck came in, it was negative the next day. Yeah.
How about this one? We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us.
If I don't, I go to God and my sponsor.
Oh, all right. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves.
Do you want me to comment on that?
No.
I didn't think you did.
But it really is like you.
No,
like you
it's true.
seem like you got a whole new life.
I do.
Now, especially since I think the last time we talked, like on this thing was September.
Yep.
So some definite changes. Like yeah.
I'm single. I'm doing what I need to do for me. And I am not gonna lie. Like, I am not interested in dating. I got way too much on my plate to be dealing with someone else's shit.
Exactly, right? These extravagant promises, we think not. They're being fulfilled among us sometimes quickly.
Sometimes slowly.
Slowly. They will always materialize.
If
we work for them. And so it sounds like the program works if you work it.
Yep.
It doesn't work if I work it for you or anybody else does.
No, I think we tried that too.
Yeah, it's, it
and
feels...
for the people that don't know, like, we've had a friendship for going on almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Like, we're only a month apart in sobriety.
Yeah, we've seen each other at our worst and sometimes at our best.
Yeah, yeah.
What's been the best moment of this year for you?
Being able to be there for my daughter all the time.
Awesome.
Because now that we live together, I'm there for her at any time. Anytime. Like, she literally, I'm not gonna lie, last night I got home from school and all I wanted to do was sit down, eat my food, take a shower, and go to bed. So I'm sitting there eating my food, I put on my show, and here she comes. Because my daughter likes to vent about work.
Yeah.
And, like, she doesn't vent to anybody. Like, she vents to her mom.
Yeah.
But I'm always just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't really want to hear about work. But, like, I'm her mom.
Yeah, right?
So,
be
like,
grateful.
And I am, because, there was a period for almost 2 years that she barely even talked to me.
Yeah.
So, like, she'll come in my room and she'll sit there. And, like, my daughter, she knows me so well that I'll be watching TV and she's talking to me and she can tell if I'm not listening or if I am. Because now that I'm sober, I actually do listen to her. And like before, like she'd know, like especially if I was messed up, she'd be like, "You're not even listening to me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then she'd tell me repeat what I just said, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not."
Yeah.
But like last night while she's talking to me, I'm eating and I'm watching my show and listening to her, and I'm like, "I'm listening." She's like, "I know you are." Like I always have to make sure I tell her that I'm listening to her because I don't want her to think that I'm not.
Yeah.
She's like, "Mom, I know you're listening." That's another thing that's crazy is like I feel like I need to tell her I'm listening to you because for so long she'd be talking and I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And she knows. She's like, "Mom, I know you're listening. It's fine."
Yeah.
And she'll keep going with her story.
That's amazing. So, well, Sarah, thank you so much for your time sitting down. I want to talk to you longer, but we're sitting here at the meeting between the meeting.
Yeah, and there's a meeting coming up.
Yeah. It's going to be the 10:30 Kiss group, and you know, it's wild. Like, look around, like the Sterling Room. We're both still sitting here.
Not only that, we're sitting here on a Friday night at 10:30 sober.
I know.
It's a Friday night and it's 10:30 and we're sitting in a meeting room sober.
I know, right? It's a beautiful thing.
And what's
So-
the first thing we're going to do tomorrow morning?
Oh, go to a meeting.
Yup.
Oh, I got a big book study tomorrow morning.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, with Steve-O and Terry J.
Nice.
I know, right? I'm like,
Well, we're going to get to see my sponsor pick up 4 years tomorrow morning, too.
oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, I can't wait. That's going to be great. So, real quick before we go, what do you got for the newcomer? Exactly.
Hold on. Hold on. I got some stuff. I'm going to pull something out.
All right, pull it out.
It doesn't work for people who need it or who want it, but for people who do the fucking work.
Yes, this is true. This is true. It works if you work it.
Not if your sponsor works it for you. Not if you think you're going to do it by osmosis. Show the fuck up and do the work.
That's amazing. All right, well, we got Grayson on his phone back there.
I know
It's
he's
loud.
echoing.
I know. Well, that's the beauty of this room, and that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, well, the recovery band's going to take us out. Kick it, boys. Oh, you like that? Why are you laughing? What? It's up.
I like the moves that go along with it.
I know, right? You picture it, right? And studio audience. God, stop. Her ego's going to get reinflated. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot, Sarah, for your time. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Goodbye, everyone, and be well.